Hey, mamas, it's your girl Carrie, and welcome back to another episode of Mom, Wife, Career Life. Today, we're talking about something that I know hits a lot of moms that work from home like me. How do you stay visible at work when you're not physically in the office? Because let's be real, there's this little voice in the back of our heads that whispers, what if they think I'm not working? What if they forget about me? And in today's work culture, where your Microsoft Teams or Slack status changes to yellow the second you step away from your computer, it can really make you feel like you have to be glued to your desk all day just to prove that you're actually working. And spoiler alert, that's so not healthy. It's not sustainable, and it's not the only way to really show your value. So today, I'm sharing a visibility playbook for my remote working mamas, practical ways to stay top of mind with your manager, with your coworkers, without sacrificing your sanity or feeling like you're chained to your desk. And here's the thing, a big part of getting visibility right is actually being focused when you are at your desk. Because when you're constantly being distracted, checking texts, scrolling Instagram, falling down that just for a minute TikTok rabbit hole, it takes us twice as long to get through our work. That's why I also want you to grab my free tech timeout guide for moms. It's a super simple system to help you set healthy phone boundaries so you can knock out your work faster, be more present during meetings, and actually earn those guilt-free breaks from your computer. You can grab it, it's for free. Link is in the show notes. And now let's jump in. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Carrie, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. I've been in the corporate world for over 23 years, which just seems crazy to think about. That's more than half of my life. And I've also been very blessed to be able to work fully remote since 2018. And for the previous 10 years before that, I was able to work one day from home a week, which at the time I was a property manager in Manhattan. And it was pretty unheard of to be able to manage a building from home. But throughout all of that time, I have also been a top performer. And it's because I've always been really good at making myself visible. Technology has really come a long way over the past few years, which has made remote working a lot more doable. But at the same time, it's also added some challenges. And I find that one of the biggest common challenges with working moms that I work with is the pressure to always feel like you need to be on. I feel it myself sometimes too. But here's the thing, if you were actually in an office, you wouldn't be sitting at your desk every second. You go grab a coffee, you chat with a coworker, you stretch your legs. But at home, when your computer shows you're away, you're suddenly worried that someone's whispering, is she even working? And I get it. As a strategist and someone with a little ADHD, I often think best when I'm walking around, and I can totally be engaged in my work, but not even looking at my computer. And you know what? That's totally normal. So we need to stop feeling like we have to be glued to our desk because other people are watching. And that's what we're talking about today. Instead, we're focusing on strategic visibility, showing the right people the right things at the right time. And that starts with number 1. You need to understand your manager style. And this is so huge. I want you to have an open, honest conversation with your manager about how they like to operate. Ask them, what kind of updates do they want? How often do they want them? What project details do they want to be looped in on? This isn't just about communication. It's about giving them the comfort of knowing you're on top of your work so that they don't feel like they have to micromanage you. And let's be real, micromanaging is unproductive for everyone, and it really just adds a lot of unnecessary stress. If your manager does feel the need to micromanage you, that's a bigger conversation. It usually means you need to focus on building their trust and their confidence in the work that you're outputting. Don't shy away from having that discussion, because if you don't, it can really come back to bite you at your year-end review time, potentially affecting any performance bonus you get or merit increase. I've seen it happen way too often. Number 2, over communicate strategically. Visibility isn't about flooding your boss's inbox with constant pings, because that could be really annoying too. It's about strategic communication that keeps you top of mind without becoming noisy. A simple rhythm that works for many remote working moms is a Monday check-in saying, here's my plan for the week and what I'll be focusing on. This sets expectation, it shows you've thought through priorities, and it really gets everyone aligned from the start. And then a Friday wrap up. Here's what I've accomplished this week, what's in progress, and what's coming up next. This closes the loop, highlights your wins, and reminds them of the value that you're delivering in the week. This approach makes you look proactive, organized, and really accountable for your work. And those three words every manager loves to associate with their team members. But here's the key. Again, you really need to tailor it to your manager style. Some will love a Monday, Friday combo. Others may prefer a single weekly update or even a quick midweek chat. The goal is to find that sweet spot that keeps them informed and confident in your work without drowning them in updates. When I have a newer employee, I do appreciate the twice a week check-in, but for my more senior folks or someone that I am confident in their work, I really only need that once a week, telling me what you're working on, where you're at, and what you need support with. Tip number 3, use your voice and your face. A 30-second voice memo can communicate tone, context, and intention in a way that a Slack or a team message really can't. And turning your camera on, even if you're in a hoodie, which you really shouldn't be in a hoodie, but if you're in a hoodie, turn your camera on. It really helps people feel way more connected to you. I always use my camera at work because honestly, I hate talking to a black screen and I really just love building those relationships. And here's a tip from many years as a people manager: always be camera ready. I cannot stress this enough. Start your day as if you're going into the office. Get showered, get dressed, get presentable. If you hop on a call looking disheveled or say, sorry, I'm not camera ready, it can unintentionally, and it will, give the wrong impression. And you never know when something important will come up and you'll need to jump on a call with someone more senior. And personally, I find I'm far more productive when I'm dressed and ready for the day. That's a habit I built very early in life. Even on the weekends, you'll rarely catch me unshowered and in pajamas. And I'm not saying you can't be in pajamas all day on the weekend and vegging with your messy bun. I've just always been the type that wants to be ready for whatever the day may bring or wherever it may take me. And I don't ever want to miss out on an opportunity because I wasn't prepared to just go and do it. And I also want to be ready for those unexpected visitors that seem to pop up all the time. I love my visitors. I just want to be ready for them. Number 4, keep a done list. I don't want you to just track what you need to do. I want you to track what you've already done. Keep a running list of the wins, your completed projects, kudos from coworkers, problems you've solved, people you've helped. I have a dedicated folder in OneNote where I keep all mine, and I try to keep it updated regularly because here's the truth. You think you're going to remember everything, but as moms, our brains are already juggling a million things. And if you don't write it down right away, you know it's gone. So get it out of your head and into a safe place, and come year-end review time, you're going to have a ready-made highlight reel of all the amazing things you did this year. No scrambling to remember the details, no downplaying your impact, just a clear record of the value and the amazing work you did this year. Number 5, build micro connections. Visibility isn't just about the work you deliver. It's also about the relationships you build. If you join a meeting a few minutes early, use that time for some light conversation. Ask about someone's weekend, share a quick story, or find a common ground, whether it's kids, hobbies, or even the latest Netflix show that seems to be the newest craze. And in one-on-one meetings, start with a personal touch before diving straight into business. It makes you more memorable, it really humanizes your interactions, and it strengthens trust over time. I never start a meeting by jumping right into the agenda. Those first couple of minutes really set the tone for the entire conversation. And even if you're a more private person, you can still find something small to share. A book you're reading, a new recipe you tried, or even just talk about the weather. That's one of the biggest things we talk about because my team is all over the US. So when you really have nothing to talk about, say, what's the weather like? Or, oh, it's a really crappy day here. Those tiny glimpses into your life make it easier for colleagues to connect with you and really see you as a person. And over time, those micro connections can really open the door to bigger opportunities and stronger workplace alliances, which I promise you in the corporate world, you need. Number 6, be present in team spaces. If your company uses Slack or Teams or any other group communication platform, don't just lurk in the background. Your presence in these spaces is like a little digital wave that reminds people that you're there, you're engaged, and most importantly, that you're contributing. You don't need to be in every thread or every channel all day long, But make it a habit to comment on a post. Maybe you can add value with a quick insight, a suggestion, or a resource. Answer questions, even if it's not your project. Sharing what you know really positions you as a helpful team member. Share useful links, whether it's an article relevant to your work or a tool that could make everyone's life easier. And most importantly, celebrate wins. Cheer people on when they hit milestones, give shout outs for a job well done. Or when you're on those Zoom meetings, they have those little clap emojis that jump all over the place. Don't be afraid to use them. Think of it as being visible at the office coffee machine, except it's virtual. These small touch points really build your reputation as someone who's engaged, who's resourceful, and really, most importantly, who's a supportive team member. And that kind of visibility sticks in people's minds when new opportunities come up. And the key here is balance. You want to be present, not noisy. If your contributions are really thoughtful and really relevant, people will look forward to seeing your name pop up in their feed. Number 7, take initiative. One of the fastest ways to stay visible, especially when you're remote, is to be the person who steps up. If you see a gap, fill it. If you notice a process that's slowing people down, suggest a way to streamline it. If a multi-team project comes up, raise your hand to help, especially if it's something that aligns with your strengths and with your goals. This doesn't mean volunteering for everything because we don't want to get burnt out, but choosing a few well-placed opportunities that allow you to shine is the key. For example, offering to lead a quick brainstorming session when a project gets stuck, or creating a shared resource or template that makes life easier for the whole team, or proactively sending an update to clarify decision or next step when things feel really unaligned or unclear. Or this is a big one, stepping in to mentor a new team member when you notice they're struggling. Every manager loves that. Even small, thoughtful contributions, they really show your leadership that you're engaged, that you're invested, and that you're thinking ahead, not just reacting to tasks as they land on your plate. As a manager, I want to see my team proactive, not just reactive. And here's a bonus. Taking initiative really builds your influence. People start coming to you for ideas and perspective, which not only strengthens your visibility, but it can also open doors for promotions, for leadership opportunities, for special projects down the line. But I will say this, just be careful because it might end up with you getting a promotion and you might be saying, who doesn't want a promotion or more money? But it could mean more work, more stress, or more travel time away from the family. So tread lightly here. Number 8, shine the spotlight on others. One of the most powerful ways to build genuine visibility is by lifting other people up. When someone supports you, solves a problem, or goes above and beyond, don't just say thanks privately. Make that appreciation public. If your company has an internal recognition program, use it consistently. Submit kudos, shout outs, or appreciation posts so that other people's efforts are seen by leaders, by peers, and really your team as a whole. And whenever possible, take it a step further. Send a quick email to their manager highlighting exactly what they did and the positive impact it had on you. Not only does this make the other person feel really valued, but it also positions you as a collaborative, team-focused professional who notices and really acknowledges great work. And people remember who gives them credit. And over time, that helps build stronger relationships, more trust, a reputation for being a leader who lifts others as they climb. And most importantly, when you need help, they're going to be more likely to want to help you again. And yes, there's a visibility bonus here too. When you regularly celebrate your colleagues' wins, your name shows up in those same conversations and spaces, and organically over time, it's going to keep you top of mind without you ever talking about yourself. Number 10, speak up in meetings. In the remote world, silence can unintentionally make you invisible. If you want to stay on your team's radar, aim to contribute at least once in every meeting you attend. That doesn't mean you need to deliver a TED Talk each time. Sometimes it's small, thoughtful contributions that really make the biggest impact. Your participation could look like asking a thoughtful question that moves the conversation forward or shows you're really engaged in the topic. Maybe share a quick update on your work so people know what you're working on. Maybe supporting a colleague's idea by adding an example or expanding on their point or connecting it to a bigger picture, or offering a solution or a resource that could really help your team tackle something that is challenging them. The goal isn't to speak just for the sake of speaking. It's to add value, demonstrate your engagement, and remind people that you're in the room. But hopefully on these meetings, you're also sharing your camera so that they see you're in the room too. If you're someone who freezes up in the moment, and I totally get it because that used to be me when I was starting out in my career, but confidence comes over time, try prepping one talking point or question before the meeting starts. That way you can confidently jump in without really overthinking it. And over time, I promise you, this habit not only keeps you visible, but it also positions you as someone who is invested, who's collaborative, and most importantly, is just ready to contribute when the time comes. And last but not least, number 10, build relationships across departments. It's really easy to get tunnel vision and only interact with people on your immediate team when you work from home, but some of the most valuable career opportunities come from the connections you make outside of your department. When you take time to network internally, you're going to gain insight on how other parts of your company operate. You're going to build allies that will think of you when positions or promotions become available outside of your group. And you're going to position yourself as someone who understands the bigger picture, which I promise you leaders notice. There are a couple of ways you can do this. I always recommend starting with talking to your manager. Tell them you want to network and expand your knowledge base about the company. And a good manager should support you through this process. But unfortunately, not all managers are good managers. So you might have to take some steps on your own. Maybe if there's committees or special groups within your company, you can join them. I'm on the board of our New Jersey Women's Business Network group, and I've met so many great people through our events. You can attend optional company events or town halls, look to see what's available in your area. You could reach out to people in other departments and invite them for a quick virtual coffee talk, maybe 15 minutes to learn about what their department does. I had a group that I was very interested in moving into, and I found out who led the group. And I set up some time with him and I met with him to understand what roles are available, the skill sets he looks for, and where my skill set gaps were. And honestly, share resources across teams. What works for your group might work for other groups. So if you see something that might help another department, pass it along with a quick note. It will go a long way. And you never know which connection will open the door for your next big opportunity, whether it's a stretch assignment, a promotion, or even a new career path. And here's the bonus. When you're known and trusted beyond your own team, your visibility and influence multiply across the organization, I promise you. All right, Mama, there you have it. 10 powerful, practical ways to make sure you're not just present in your remote role, but truly seen and valued for the amazing work you're doing. Because at the end of the day, staying visible at work isn't just about being glued to your desk or living in fear of that little yellow away dot in Teams. It's about being intentional with how you show up. It's about building trust and making the most of your time and your energy. And here's the thing, the more strategic you are about your visibility, the more freedom you're going to have to step away without the guilt, whether it's to grab lunch, take a quick walk, or to be fully present when your kids get home from school. And you know I want to hear from you. Drop me a message or tag me in a Facebook group and tell me which of these tips are you going to try this week? Or what's one visibility win you've had lately that we can celebrate with you? Because this is your reminder. You can work from home, do amazing work, and be recognized for it without burning yourself out. And I'm right here in your corner, as always, cheering you on. Until next time, keep showing up, keep shining, and remember, you've got this, and I've got you. If you don't already follow the show, take a second and hit that follow button so you never miss another episode. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life. Or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Carrie Pat.